Hello, design students. This is Mr. Rodriguez, and I am here to show you a demonstration on how to create your advertising campaign on a mobile device. You will need two Adobe apps. I will be using Adobe Capture and Adobe Comps. So I'm on my iPhone. On my iPhone, Adobe Capture is the pink icon there. Adobe Comp is this purple icon here. Let's get into Adobe Capture to start. So in Adobe Capture, the first thing is that I'm gonna first go out and get the picture that I want, right? So that's the first step. So I use my camera and got a photograph. Now you don't necessarily have to use a photograph, but I'm starting with a photograph. So I'm getting my photograph. It says here, oh, you can take a picture right now. I can take a picture of this computer that I'm sitting in front of. That's not what I want to do. I'm going to click the bottom right button, which is the photo button here, and I'm going to get it off my camera roll. Here are my photos. The picture I want is this middle one right in here. Something like that. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so I want to use this one. Notice at the bottom down here, I am in the shapes area. See that? Right there. That's key. Once I'm in the shapes, what it does is it actually it's hard to see it right now, but it's actually drawing it and making it into like a vector drawing. Okay? That's what I want it to do. I'm going to hit the check mark. And this is the initial drawing. Now you can see it a little bit more, that it's not really a photograph, but like painted in. So this is a pretty complicated drawing at this point. I'm going to go down, and at the very bottom, you see there's an eraser, a paintbrush, a paint bucket, and like a paint palette. The paint palette is the one I'm going to click on, and this allows me to make it less complex. So if I go all the way down with the slider, it goes like all the way gray. What I want is just a tiny amount of color, so I'm slowly bringing this slider up, and each time it refines it, there's what I want. I want that gold color right there with none of the extra stuff. So if I go a little down, messes it up, a little up, a little more up, there we go. That's that gold color I want in my picture. So that's what I'm looking for right there. So I really simplified it a bunch. And I'm going to hit done here. And now I have it just like that. That's what I want. Let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to hit save here. And I'm going to call this apparently shape 5 is what it's called. And I'm going to put shape 5 in my library. And I'm going to just hit save here. Actually, oh no. Let's not do that. Let's hit save here. Saved it. Perfect. Okay, good. Now, if I go out of this, I hit the X button. So there's shape 5 right here. You can see it. I'm going to click on it, and it shows me a preview of shape 5. Well, in this button at the bottom left, there's the rectangular shape with the arrow up. Click on that and say, hey, save it to my camera roll. There we go. And it's saved to my camera roll now. Awesome. Done with Adobe Capture. So now, and I'm going to close this out too, I'm going to get into Adobe Comp. Here's Adobe Comp. It looks like this. As you can see, I've already practiced this. We're going to hit the plus sign right here. Okay? I have some things that I already put on mine. You're going to need to add this to yours. So at the very bottom, it says My Format. Click on that, and you're going to create a new format. Call it square. This is going on Instagram, so we want to make it square. Change the units from points or pixels to inches. And then change the width to 5 by 5. Save your format. Oh, under units, you can also say at the very bottom, instead of 144, I just did 150 on mine. So there we go. So now we have a square, 150 pixels per inch, 5 by 5. Save the format. I'm actually going to hit cancel because I already have that right here. You can see it there. So now, when you get to this, you can say, hey, choose a format. Square, because that's what I just created. Good. So this will match now with what I'm doing on my Instagram, right? So at this point, now what we want to do is we want to bring that image in here. So I'm going to click on the image button. It's in the top center. It's the rectangular that looks like it has a mountain and a sun. And I'm going to say, hey, off of my device, all photos. And now that very bottom photo is the one I just created. It added it. Now I can hit the cancel button. It's a little weird. See that? So I added it by selecting it. Nothing. It looks like nothing happened. But actually hit cancel and you'll see that it's been added in to our artboard here. This is a little bit of a tricky part, is I want this to fill this frame. I'm gonna like drag it out and I want to keep it square. So if I do that, I'm cropping into the picture. See how it has that dotted line and it says square? That's what I want. And I know that I'm gonna have to make it quite a bit bigger. So I just keep kind of moving it over. I think that'll do it. And what I have here is my daughter with our dog playing cards. Right? Kind of a funny idea. There we go. Okay, look at them. Okay, perfect. That's what I want, just like that. Now, I think what I would like to do is add a little box across the top that's kind of faded back. So I'm going to add a shape here, like this, rectangular shape. And I'm going to move this up and pull it across and slide this way up here. I think something like that, approximately. And I think at the bottom on the left side, if you click on the first one, it'll change the color. I kind of like the gray color or tone there, but I want to click on the second one over, and that's the opacity. I think I want to not do that. Oh, come on. I want to reduce that opacity down to like, let's try 50%. Yeah. So see that? It gives it that little, okay. And now I'm going to create a text box, and I'm going to click on the sub-headliner, click back over, have this fill that space, kind of like that, center it on there, double click in, and I'm going to go ahead and type in hashtag stay home, stay safe. Boom. Okay. Now, if you get that set, if I click on this, you notice I can use this far right little scroller here, and that'll change the size. And I think I'm going to do about 34 points there. And now I want to try to see if I can get it centered. Something like that. There we go. Stay home, stay safe. The second part of my advertising campaign. If you take a look at my tutorial on Illustrator, you'll see the first part is the picture with my son. So now these two pieces kind of go together, and I can show that a little later. So stay home, stay safe. Awesome. Now, what do I do with this, you might say? Well, you could hit close, and that would close it out. But before I do that, I think what I'd like to do is hit the symbol that has the rectangle with the up arrow and say, hey, I do want to share this image, the second to bottom one. And it gives me some options. And the first option at the top of this list is Save Image. Click that. And it should save that image to your camera roll. I can close this out. And you can see my project there. I can quit that out. And now if I go to my camera and look at my camera roll, stay home, stay safe. Awesome. Ready for my, oh, you can't see that as well as I can you? Okay. Weird. It shows up weird on there. Huh. Okay. It's there. That's the idea. Okay, perfect. So now I am getting my project all put together and almost ready to be turned in. Thanks for listening. Email me if you have any questions or concerns. Happy to help. Hope you guys are all doing well and staying home and staying safe.